Welcome to the Catholic Leadership Network podcast, where we connect the wisdom and experience of ministry leaders to the realities of ministry in the trenches. We journey with ministry leaders through all the hidden aspects that help us to become fruitful ministers. Here at the Catholic Leadership Network podcast, we discuss the stuff that no one told you about Catholic ministry and strive to help ministry leaders succeed from the beginning. Our hosts are Christy Cabanis, the Director for Missionary Discipleship for the Diocese of Cleveland, and Sarah Jarzembowski, the Director for Marriage and Family Life at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish in Crofton, Maryland. Please show your support for our efforts by clicking like and subscribe and commenting below. And now here are Sarah and Christy. In frame. Oh, hello, everybody out there in podcast world. Welcome to the Catholic Leadership Network podcast. This is Sarah and Christy, and we are here today with Stefanie Miles, dear friend that I met walking from church to church to church to church on a 7-church pilgrimage. What was that, Holy Thursday? Probably about 10 years
Saturday. Yeah, 10 years
12 years ago. I don't know, a while ago. And Stefanie, I had just moved to the Maryland area, and Stefanie just latched on, and we became best friends. She just made me feel so welcome here, and we have been ministry friends ever since. Stefanie was a teacher at the time. She's now working with the U.S. Bishops Conference in cultural diversity in the church, and we recently journeyed together through the Journeying Together process. And that was a wonderful opportunity of young adults journeying together and learning about our cultural diversity in the church. It was a synodal process and just a wonderful, outstanding opportunity. Stefanie, we're so glad that you joined us today. Just thrilled that we're friends, ministry friends, and that you could join us on the podcast today. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I feel very welcomed.
Got 3 welcomes there.
Yeah. All right. Well, and we were doing some welcoming before you got on it, but because I don't know you, Stefanie, so I'm excited. This is my first time to get to interact with you. So
I'm so happy.
Me too.
Welcome.
Good.
Catholic craziness.
That's right. Spread it around. Give a little to everybody. There's enough to share. Tell us, Stefanie, get us started. How did you get into ministry? What's your backstory there?
Honestly, I really got into ministry because it was the rule in my house. It's a rule. Growing up, so my parents had us involved in ministry as a youth and teen. And we were in teen club. We were in the choir. I have a brother. When I say we were in a choir. He was an altar server. That's just something I just never gravitated to. But I always helped out with the younger kids, even though Stefanie stands as someone who used to not like kids. So I mean, I didn't like hate them or anything, just I'd rather not. But somehow I always ended up with them for any length of time. So when I made my confirmation, my parents still was like, okay, you still have to choose a ministry or organization in the church. My brother stuck with altar serving and Holy Name, the men's group, and I went with CCD, and I think it was still a choir at the time, so I was still within those spaces. I just moved wherever they said, hey kid, do something in the church, and I did it, so it was fine.
That's awesome.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was keep telling me. Tell me more.
So I ended up in youth ministry. Like I mentioned, I was helping out with children. When I was about 16 or 17, the name that is ever mentioned in my life is Miss Stefanie. Oh, did I freeze? That started. I became Miss Stefanie then. So I've been Miss Stefanie since 2000.
Nice.
I was in youth, working with youth ministry for 23 years, and I took it over as, I guess, coordinator in 2010 as the
Okay.
coordinator of youth ministry, and then they tacked on young adult ministry sometime in the mix. And I was a young adult, so I was like, I don't know what I'm doing because I'm a young adult. But anyway, it kind of worked out. I met Sarah at least, so there's a
I
thing.
So
mean,
something worked out. One thing
Something
worked
worked
out.
out.
Then how did you go from parish ministry to the USCCB? Because that's, I mean,
So I was working, like Sarah mentioned, at a school for almost 9 years, so 8.5 years. Um, I prayed on this, and I know I already knew, like, walking into the school year, that this will be my last year at that school. I mean, I thought I was going to finish off the school year, this 2022-23 school year, but God didn't see it that way. I was presented with the opportunity to work at USCCB, and I did ask God to tell me, like, when it's time.
Yeah.
Or what I'm supposed to do next. So, I mean, I was gently throwing out some applications, but just to stay in practice, because I hadn't really looked for a job seriously. Okay, to be honest, in like 5 years. So I was looking, and COVID happened, so I really wasn't. No one was really, well, people were looking, and it was just weird. So I updated my resume and did all those things. The opportunity was presented to me in a journeying together follow-up meeting, and it was, well, my friends spoke up for me because they knew I wouldn't say it myself. I wouldn't do it myself. And so I was like, okay, God, I get it. I hear you. They were like, hey, does anyone know anyone in the DC area or on their way to the DC area to do this position? And I said, and they were, well, my friends were like, what about Stefanie? I was just at it, so, if, see if I matched up with qualifications, and if I didn't, what did I need to do that? And, like, just again, just to get myself back in the job searching arena. But they're like, what about Stefanie? And they asked, was I still on there? They emailed me the link directly, and the rest is history, I guess. So I started
well,
in
it is
January.
now.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I actually told my principal when I had to put in my 2 weeks notice, and it wasn't it was kind of 2 weeks, my 2 weeks notice. And I mean, I was sad to tell her because it was a rough time, but she understood, and she knew, she kind of felt it was coming. I was like, I didn't know that. She said, I knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time. I'm like, really? Like, you were like telling me, like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think the transition's been like for you, moving from the beginning to now? I guess
Sometimes it's a whirlwind, and I'm put in places that I didn't expect, or really anyone would expect. Like, I've literally been put in places, sitting at tables that no one expected me to be sitting at, or anyone necessarily, I'm not gonna say necessarily who looks like me. It's kind of cliche, but anyone who looks like me, because I have no other words, will be sitting at. Like, just as simple as, I went to see the Pope arrive at Andrews Air Force Base. Like, who does that? Like, who? Those who even like, oh, wonderful. I don't know anyone there, but that's wonderful. Like, we were like, if I was really feeling froggy, now you feel like, kind of people will realize where I'm from and how old I am now. Feel froggy, and I felt like I wanted to just kind of go to jail that day. I could have jumped and gave the Pope a high five. That's how close I was.
Wow, that's how close you were.
Was that the 2015 papal visit when he was
Yes.
here? Yeah. That was incredible.
That was. And the young lady, and yes, this is my claim to fame. So I guess I should put this in my bio from now on. The young lady that bought the flowers to the Pope, she was in pre-K, Carlina. Yeah, I tutored her for like so. Like, that is my claim to fame. Like, that's all
You knew her when.
I knew her when. She taught me how to dance. Like I knew how to dance, but she taught me that's her claim to fame, I guess. But she probably won't remember that.
Super cute.
Yes.
My gosh.
Yeah, I was with the Pope. I've done speaking engagements with at national events like the Light Conference, LYKE Light Conference. Very nasal with this seasonal change here going on. Mm-hmm. So I just spoke at the National Black Catholic Congress.
Hey,
like, hey, right? like I'm not. I don't. I mean, I want to be that person, but I never thought that it would actually happen. Like I hang out with those people. I figured that I'll still just be in the cheerleading section. So it's literally, and apparently, like I hang out with Paul, Charles Brodsky. Like who does that? Like
Sarah does.
Sarah does.
I do on a regular basis.
On a regular basis, that's
kind of cool.
One thing. Cool. So I was like, wow. Like I get like blurts of 10 minutes at a time, but like, what? I'm part of this crew now.
Yeah,
so
it's really cool.
It's literally been a whirlwind, and doing the 7 church walk, like even doing the 7 church walk and doing events like that put on by Archdiocese or just other random events, Catholic events. Yes, I said Catholic events. It's just being on this podcast. This is like who does like who are these people? I'm going to be one of those people. Like I did one, I want to say last year around a little bit around this time, but I'm still like, who am I? Like who are the like I'm not one. No, I'm not one of those people. I just have put Stephanie, you're on this podcast. No, but I'm not one of those people. No, you are, because you have Stefanie Miles on this podcast talking about Jesus and what he's done for you. Like, oh, okay, yes. So it's amazing today. It is amazing. And I mean, even when I know I'm making mistakes or people yell at me. Well, not yell at me, but they have things to say. So in addition to youth young adult ministry and I'm a catechist for post-confirmation. That's an interesting group of people. I love it. No, love it. Shout out to the the squad. So in addition to that, I do the live streaming.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going, where's the camera? I see your comments, people. I'm the one who responds. I had to take them off. You can cut that out. I don't.
What keeps bringing you back, Stefanie? What keeps you saying yes? What keeps you stepping into the space?
Because Jesus told me to, and we made an agreement, and he let me eat one donut every once in a while without having major effects. So I have proof that God is real. Jesus is the reason for the season, all the things, because this might be TMI, but I'm very sensitive to dairy. Let's go with that. And I love donuts. Some donuts have milk in it.
Yeah.
And I asked God. And he was like, you may have one. And I'm like, One. So if I have two, I'm sick.
Nope, you're done.
Sick.
That's
Like it
bad.
doesn't matter unless it's a milk-free vegan
Mhm.
donut or something.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm going to be sick just having
Yeah.
two. Having one,
Okay.
I can slide under the radar. And that's how I know God's real. Like I'm like, okay, that's what keeps me
That's
coming
how
back.
I know.
That's what Jesus said. You can have one donut.
Yes to
And
one
that's how
donut.
you know.
And that's how I know. So he asked me when something is presented to me and it's in a time and a space and within my ability. And sometimes it's not even within my ability that I think. Um, I'm like, is this for me? And I'm discerning.
Mhm.
Jesus like, you're up, kid. And I go ahead and do the things. So
Mm.
yeah. And
Wow.
I'm a little not kind of selfish and do things not necessarily only for my church, but I'll say yes more to my church stuff.
Your
So
church. Yeah. That's awesome. So we've mentioned a couple of times, we slid in there the journeying together event and process. Can you share a little bit about that with us and the people who are listening? I think we've mentioned it here or there in a couple of other podcasts, but you've been really involved in that.
yes, now I'm on the inside track. It's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
so the journey together was a gathering. Well, it was I'm almost working backwards, I feel. Well, kind of in the middle and then working backwards. It was a gathering of young adults across the country, all 50 states, continuous 48 and Alaska and Hawaii. We met online because of COVID, of course, and we were able to come together and learn about each other's cultures, share our experiences, and just share our love of the Lord together. Um, we shared our church hurt. We encourage each other, like even to this day, because we form bonds um, with others who went through the same process. So now our semi-small network has become larger, where it spans the 50 states of the United States instead of like, oh, I know somebody in DC, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Florida. Like now I know someone,
Mm-hmm.
many someones, and that I can call family. Um, definitely friends. We have a holy friendship across the 50 nifty United States, if you want to say. Yes, I know the song.
Well, and what's been the most profound thing that's come forward for you in this? Yeah.
So the title is Journeying Together, and from I guess 2022, 2020
Mm-hmm.
until now, I know through now, I have literally walked with, and people have walked with me from that moment on, and I can honestly call them my friend. Um, and it's not like, oh, the shallow version of friend. No, I'm having a problem. Well, if I had a problem, I call Sarah. That's would have been a natural reaction anyway. But like I can call a problem and I can call Teresa in Arizona and
Mm-hmm.
Tuba. You know where that is?
Mm-mm. No, I don't.
I mean, I know now because I have my friend that lives there. So I will call her. Yes, it's cross country, and she will pray for me, pray with me,
Yeah.
talk to me. I mean, yes, I have local holy friendships too, but just doesn't have that knowledge and have that gift
Mm-hmm.
of these people. I mean, if push come to shove and I really need to cross some waters in Hawaii, I will call Dallas,
Mm.
message him like, hey, well, I know y'all going through stuff right now. Continue to pray
Yeah.
for Hawaii.
Yeah, man.
Going through stuff right now. Let me just pray for you. Well, I should do that way. I mean, let me just pray for y'all and blah, 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 blah. Do a voice cut and keep it moving. Like, I mean, I have that connection. My friendships have great, and they've been more powerful than and more spread out, more diverse than it even had. And I felt like I had a diverse group of friends. This took it to another level. And so we went through the process. We had the small groups. We were able to talk more intimate conversations, not with just lay people, but also ministers and clergy. And when I say clergy, it wasn't just bishops and deacons. I mean, well, it wasn't just priests and deacons. There were bishops on the line and on the Zoom, and it was just interesting to hear them and how they relate to us. And sometimes we got stories of when they were a young adult, deciding to become a priest or things like that. So we had a plethora of experience to take in, and it was just beautiful, honestly. And then we gathered in Chicago in 2022. Was it just last year? Wow. Once again, whirlwind. Like, I really don't, I'm so glad you sent me that reminder email, because I really don't know. I've lost track of time. Time and space continue. I don't know. But it's just been a whirlwind of goodness. We watched a friend get married. It's just been just an ongoing.
Stefanie, was there something about that process that helped you all connect to each other so well? Is it repeatable in a parish setting?
Funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting the tea.
That wasn't on purpose, you guys.
So it is kind of repeatable, and a local document is in the works. Yes, it should be out before. It should at least be presented to the bishops before the end of this year, but it is definitely in the works.
Is that part of the November meeting that they're going to hear
Prayerfully, it will be returned from the publisher, the editor by then, so we can send it off.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I was part of that online process as well, and I think it was very deep listening, and I think that's what there was really guidelines put into place every time we met about the deep listening and listen without response.
So like
that is so hard to do.
It's
just listen. Put your pen down, put your whatever down, and just
put
listen.
Your phone down, put your pen down, and you just listen. And you don't respond until everyone has gone. And if there's time, then respond like, "Oh, Christy, da 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 da," and Sarah, when you've mentioned this, I did this in 1999. I don't.
It remember. No, we're not doing that.
It was really powerful, and the bishops really did get engaged, and Cardinal-elect Christophe Pierre, our papal nuncio, was part of all of those onlines. I don't think that there was one that he missed. And that was powerful to me. So the Holy Father had representation in this, which was really great. And he was involved, right? Like he was engaged.
He would raise his hand.
He raise his hand. He talked in the small groups. He listened. He got involved. He was in it, And I just found that was really profound too. That deep listening is really. And what's really funny is now when I'm in other conversations, roundtable conversations, I get so annoyed when people aren't deep listening. I am so absolutely annoyed.
Well, can I just say this though? Because I've been with groups, you have to tell them, like that has to be part of like initial boundaries that you set up around folks. And I do think that it's amazing how transformative that process can be. Because I've been in I got taught sacred listening a long time ago. Through somebody that like they were professional at doing this. If the name comes to me, I'll mention it. But what I was just thinking though, what you were talking is something that honestly, and I'm not just trying to plug Catholic Leadership Network podcast, but I am going to say something that has helped me to not talk back while I'm listening to other people talk is listening to podcasts, because you can't. I mean, you could talk if you want to. It's not going to make a difference. And that helps discipline you around listening to the conversation or the story without interrupting.
Yeah.
So you guys don't hear me when I say "girl" when I'm in the car. I don't hear.
We just mute you.
Oh, I get it. Thank you.
Gotcha. That's why we own this call. See,
I know that's right. I know that's right. You stand in your leadership, girl.
That's right.
Stand in it. So yeah. Oh, so speaking of leaders, it made a whole new load of Catholic leaders.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And like now I'm watching us standing in our leadership. I should put that on a shirt or something.
You should.
Yeah. Standing your leadership. And you know what? It's been really actually very cool watching you guys step into those places of leadership. And also a little sad realizing I'm no longer in that space.
Neither am I.
What do I say? I've been saying in groups, I'm not a young adult. I'm just a regular adult, I guess.
Adult?
Yeah, I'm an adult. Yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
Need a better name. Adolescent. I don't know. We need a better name.
A full adult.
Because I'm not a senior citizen. I don't get the special.
I know, and I'm not middle aged. I'm not going to claim that.
No.
No,
we're not.
We have to figure that out. Like that's
the next project. Let's bring that to the USCCB.
Add that on my list of things to do.
There you go. All right.
Tell me log in real fast. I can work from home. It's fine.
Yeah. Sarah, were you gonna ask a question?
No, go ahead, Christy.
Well, I don't want to have us go too far down a rabbit hole, but several times, Stefanie, you've talked about having this close conversation with the Lord and understanding when Jesus is speaking to you and calling you into something, and then realizing that you have a discernment process in that. But is there anything that you could share for our listeners about what's brought you to that relationship? Has it just been your whole life practice? Have there been any particular light bulb moments?
Many light bulb moments, because that's why you're a practicing Catholic and not just a professional.
Preach.
My parents, they put that in me, like, and you know, my father, my mother, my father. My father is gone with the Lord, but the many steps in my life, and I always feel like I've always felt like I was behind, not necessarily slow, but just behind everyone or where I'm supposed to be. So God keeps showing up like, no, you're where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be right here, right now, doing the things, even when I'm in my most uncomfortable state. No, you're here right now where you're supposed to be. I guess the most recent light bulb moment, and he's the man. The God's going to make me I'm coming to the realization, and people have told me this, and I just don't listen because I'm hard-headed. Ask my mom. Lord knows. I know I'm going to be some form, not a classroom teacher or anything. I guess I had to get that experience of some sort, classroom-ish teaching. But I'm going to be a teacher in some sort, no matter where I am, what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to teach in some sort of way, because on Wednesday we had a staff luncheon. And and Lord's teaching me how to be patient and kind and all the things. We had a staff luncheon. I'm not going to name the place we ordered our food from, because I love them. I want to say it because I love the food. I love the people. It was nice. It was just a glitch in the matrix type thing, and it messed up our ordering system. I'm ordering processed, I shouldn't say. But the delivery driver, it was a young lady. She's probably no more than like 21 herself. She came in and came into the USCCB building, and she was in awe of the lobby, like right beyond the lobby. It's you get a view of the courtyard in the back. I don't know if anyone really knows this one in there, but and it's just it's a crucifix. Like I walk in there, I was in awe when I first walked into, but now it's kind of worn off. Not a lot, but a little bit, enough that I can walk through freely. So she's looking around at, the Pope's, it's a screen with the Pope on it and pictures of him. And she's just like, so as she's delivering this food, she's pushing the cart with the food in it. And she's like, this is amazing. And I'm like, she's like, I didn't know this was here. Do other people know it's here? Like, I was like, sweetie, you gotta calm down. This is like, we have marble and things are bouncing. And there's actually bishops here. And, shh, yes. Shh, yes, girl. So she's asking questions, and I'm showing her things, and we get upstairs. She's setting up. She's setting up because she's late, and y'all know she's late. We're hungry. We're like, well, I'm all of us just. So setting. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, just set up the food. We'll take care of it. We'll eat it. It's fine. No worries. Setting up food, drinks, things. And I'm signing the paper and I'm sending her off. So I take her up to a floor. There's murals throughout the building and paintings. So I took her upstairs to one of the murals and I showed her, and she teared up. And I was able to walk her through what was going on in the picture. And so I'm like, okay, Lord, this is why she had to be late. This is why we all had to be hungry right now. I'm practicing all the patience. I'm practicing all the being kind, showing love, understanding, like all the gifts, the fruits, the vegetables of the Holy Spirit. I'm doing all the things, and it's like, okay, I get it. This is where I was supposed to be. This is what I was supposed to be doing at this moment. I told her about the other places in the area, like the Basilica and the John Paul II shrine and monastery. Like I'm giving her the you go down a half a click, and if you turn left down the street, and if you go past and you see a building, you've gone too far. But if you see a gate, that's where you want to go. Like I was giving her all the information. I even told her if she had questions that she was in this area, and it's a Monday through Friday, I'll be there. I said, just come to the front desk. She knows my name because that's signed paper. You can come and ask me questions. But once you're there, I said, ask the questions, even the dumb ones. Like, I don't think I have a thing with dumb questions. That's another podcast episode. Seriously. But it was just amazing that I have to you have to wait on the Lord, and you'll get told where you need to be, and I need to keep practicing that. And God keeps bringing me, like knocking me, like the Lord, I literally had to get knocked over the head to tell me to rest and how to rest and to literally reset my life. I had a concussion doing recess duty. This is when I was working in school, recess duty. And with some concussions, like I think when you do some in the front, you can kind of just rest a day and then ice the space and kind of move on, depending on how hard the impact is, of course. Whereas with the back of the head, since it shook a lot, I need a little more than just a couple of days. Like I was literally left in the dark. I had to be in the dark.
Oh, wow.
For a week. Like it was my desert experience, well, one of many desert experiences. tell the truth, shame the devil. So one of my desert experiences, and all I had was audiobooks and talking to God. So reviving that faith, and just have to, I really, like, I lost a lot of confidence in myself because I actually could not do a lot of things because I would tire easily.
Mm.
I didn't speak as I used to speak. My speech had changed, even though many people, like the professional people, said, "Oh, no, you sound great. You don't," like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Said, well,
This is
maybe.
different
And
for
so
me.
yeah, right. So my brother would, he said, "No, Stephanie, you just kind of lost your superpower. You're just regular now." I'm like,
As only a brother could say.
he really like kind of stuck it to me with it. He's like,
Mhm.
"You're just like, it happened before, but then he said, yeah, now you're really regular now." And I was like,
Rude.
"I'm a son." And he was like, "Yeah, that's me.
Mm,
That's me." And so
mhm. Yeah.
I had to have. I guess they were. I thought taking, no offense to working in school because I loved it. That's one of my favorite jobs. But I thought that was my humbling experience. That was a pay cut. Like, I thought that was literally my humbling, Stephanie becoming humble moment in life. No, it was getting knocked out by a basketball.
Whoops.
Whoopsies.
Yeah. Oh
It's like
gosh.
I had to do a reset of everything.
Yeah.
Um, and relearn myself, relearn being a 30 something year old person,
Mm-hmm.
and regaining another sense of confidence, another sense of reality, and just another sense of just self altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that was definitely I guess, light bulb moment. Now the light is kind of on, it kind of flickers now, but it's, it's on most of the time. Like,
Oh gosh. Well,
like,
time surely does fly when we're having fun,
yes,
Stephanie.
ma'am.
We are,
It is.
I'm pretty sure blew past our time, but I do want to
I'm
ask
sorry.
I do want to ask the all important question. What do you wish you knew when you started in ministry all those years ago?
Um, I wish I had known that people, the youth included, because they're people, youth are people, but people are watching and God is listening. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. People are watching and God is listening.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't be in these spaces that I am right
Yeah.
now. So,
Yeah. I'm writing that down. God is
Me
listening.
too.
Yeah.
that's
God
another
is listening.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes we
I
don't
also
think
wrote down
so. Yeah.
I also wrote down the fruits and vegetables of the Holy Spirit.
I
Yeah.
love that. Yes. It's a whole
Yeah.
cornucopia.
It has. I'm like, I'm reading about, like, I read the Bible. I post confirmation, so we reflect on confirmation stuff often. Like, you remember last year? Like, I was like, I remember last year. Yeah, I just did this. You remember this? And I'm listing the fruits of the Holy Spirit and the gifts and things. They're like, I said, yeah, I'm sure. And then one year I said, it must be like some vegetables. And I turned the pages of the Bible, like, what, Miss Stephanie? I'm like, it has to be something else. I say, I guess that's in Proverbs or something. There you go. And so I guess those are the vegetables of the Holy Spirit. I'll talk to Jesus about it. I'll let y'all know.
You know what? That's why they listen. That's why they remember you, Miss Stephanie.
Yeah.
That's why they remember you. You
And
know,
just in case
that's
I
why.
forget, one of them gave me this.
Oh,
I
It's a
forgot my
beautiful
name.
little
So
bracelet. Yeah,
yeah.
bracelet with your name on it.
Yeah, he's from Kenya. His family's from Kenya.
Oh, very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm
Thank
sorry we have to
you.
say goodbye at the moment. We hope to bring you back on again because this was a fun conversation.
was
So
super
fun.
Thank you everybody for listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, you think this is helpful to those in your ministry, please like and forward. Actually, it would be really helpful to our ministry if you like and forward this, share this out with your social media friends. That would be really helpful to our platform to get the word out about what we're doing here. We're really just trying to help people in ministry, especially those who are new in ministry, and just throwing out little tidbits of knowledge and things that will help get through in our ministries. So yeah, I don't know if that was coherent or not. Talking about, I'm not sure, Stefanie, that may or may not have been coherent, but there you have it, everybody.
There's with the
There's the
vegetables.
vegetables of the spirit right there. They might be a couple days old.
Might have been in the
ready for trash day there. All right, see you later, everybody. Christy's like, just hit stop recording. Just stop. Thank you for joining today's podcast. Please click the like and subscribe. And if you find this important to the conversations you're having in your local ministry, please share and join the conversation in the comments below. Thank you, and we'll see you next time on the Catholic Leadership Network podcast.